The Ethiopian Prime Minister, Nobel Peace Prize laureate Abiy Ahmed is expected to meet President Ramaphosa today. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed arrived in the country on Friday and was one of the dignitaries at the ANC's 108th anniversary celebration. While our foreign editor Sophie Mogwena joins us now in studio to discuss his visit. Sophie, it's great to have you here this morning. Thank you so much. What's the purpose of Abiy Ahmed's visit to the country?
Well, the purpose of the visit, I spoke to the ambassador on Friday. He indicated that is to strengthen the relations between the two countries, both at party and also at government level. As you are aware that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is the head of government in Ethiopia. You have the president there, a woman. And therefore, the relations between the two countries dates back to exile years. You know that former President Nelson Mandela was trained, or he received his military training in Ethiopia and also in Algeria. You know that during the formation of the Organization of African Unity, leaders such as Haile Selassie, Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, the then ANC President Oliver Tambo worked together to ensure that we do have this continental body, the seat of the continental body being Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And now, after 1994, there was a bit of a lull. You know, we did focus on dealing with our internal matters, particularly during the reign of former President Nelson Mandela, but later during the tenure of President Mbeki, the relations between Ethiopia improved quite a lot under the leadership of former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Zenawi. And you know that former President Thabo Mbeki, Zenawi, former President of Senegal, Abdoulaye Wade, former President of Nigeria, Obasanjo, and of course the former President of Algeria, Bouteflika, worked together to establish what we now call the NEPAD, which is part of the institution within the African Union. And you know that they also played a very important role during the transformation of the Organization of African Unity to the AU that we know today. And of course the first chair of the AU after that transformation, it was South Africa, and it was President Mbeki. And now again, we know that at the end of this month, first week of February, at the AU summit, President Cyril Ramaphosa will take over as the chair of the AU. And you know, the AU, the seat of government is, the seat of the continental body is in Addis Ababa. Therefore, Prime Minister Abiy is quite important. He's the host of the AU, and they will be working very closely with President Ramaphosa.
So if Ethiopians are heading to the polls later this year, why is this significant, or what do you think could be learned possibly in just how elections have been run in South Africa over time, and lessons that Ethiopians could take with them as they head into their next polls?
I think as the youngest leader on the continent, a youngest head of government, probably at the age of 44, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed worked very hard to ensure that there's peace in that country. Yes, indeed, there's relative peace, but you still have the hot spots. We know that the opposition also is crying foul that there's still issues that has to be dealt with, particularly on issues of human rights, and some media also saying that the issues of human rights still needs attention. But he received a Nobel Peace Prize last year for his work in trying to bring together the Ethiopians. We know that he has brought together many opposition parties. As they go to elections, he'll be fighting elections under a very strong coalition of the ruling government. And those are the issues that he has tried to do inside his country. And also we know that he reached out to those who were in exile. As we speak, head of the Electoral Commission in that country is a former political activist, and a woman for that matter.
Sophie, that's where we'll have to leave it for the moment. Thank you so much for your insights and your time this morning.
Thank you.
That's our foreign editor, Sophie Mogwena, giving us some reflections on the visit to South Africa by the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who was at the ANC 108th birthday celebrations yesterday in Kimberley as well, and will be meeting President Cyril Ramaphosa.